the shrooms in this bitch. Fuck y'all niggas. I'll beat y'all ass. Oh, God.
Hey, you know hill steppers use their feet to get from A to B. I know real steppers put a gap in your chest like A to Z. I catch real blessings, some so big they can't rain on me. Hey, I sleep with my pistol cause a nigga afraid to sleep. I might fuck that bitch to death, you better not ever play with me. I got skeletons in my closet and them niggas scared of me. Hey, big bands and they sound like they gon' make a beat. Hey, quick saying it's easier falling than it's breaking free. Ooh, I don't never lose cause I prefer to pay the fee. Hey, we got all our tools, ay, we don't got no proof. Ay, we got shooters too. Ay, pop, 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 pop. Let's go top, pop that pussy, pop, 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 pop. Hey, cousin, hey, open this bitch wide, open this bitch wide up. Hey, open this bitch wide up, open this bitch wide up. Hey, open this bitch wide up, open this bitch wide up. Open it, bitch, 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 open this bitch, open this bitch. Hey. Whew, whew, whew.
I might just hop on the road, I might just pack up the whip, yeah. I might just have to leave home, yeah. Never come back to this, hold up. I might just hop on the road, yeah. I might just pack up the whip, ayy. I might just have to leave home, yeah. Never come back to this bitch, ayy. I might just hop on the road. I might just have to leave home, yeah. Never come back to this, hold up. I might just hop on the road, yeah. I might just pack up the whip, ayy. I might just have to leave home, yeah. Never come back to this bitch, ayy. Stunting on all my contemporaries. How they don't see I'm a visionary. I need the cream like it's Ben and Jerry. So don't y'all intervene or it's getting scary. Breaking through ceilings, I did that. Pull up to that venue, it's been packed. Been running in circles like gym class. Trying to shed all this weight, need a slim fast on your bitch ass. Flexing, I don't need clout, need a check, bitch. Working like I don't know rest, bitch. Get back on that bus cause I'm next, bitch. Curving you niggas, they nervous cause Burgess get surgical with it. Ain't perfect in none of my verses, you kidding. My words is like herbalist sermons. We lived it, come learn from a chemist. My verbiage killer, I'm murdering victims by turning the pencil and burning the system. Emerge from a ditch with a thermin on niggas. I'm feeling too boxed in. Give a fuck if I'm making your top 10. I feel like I'm stuck in a cage, dog. Y'all buddying niggas that hate y'all. So maybe this isn't my place, dog. Damn, I might just hop on the road. I might just pack up the whip. Yeah, I might just have to leave home.
Powered by.
Hey.
What it do, man? Hey, got the homie in the building here for episode 88 of the Unanimous Table Talk Podcast, man. It's your boy Ann Walk, man. I got the homie Yazi in the building.
What's good?
We gonna talk about a whole lot of shit today, man. We was kind of chopping it up a little bit, kind of before, we started this shit, and it's just a pleasure to have you on, man. I see you doing a whole lot of big shit, around the city, man. You stay tapped all the way in, man. So
I try.
That's why I was like, man, it's time to get the homie on here, man. We had a little layoff for a couple of weeks, so I was like, what a better way to kind of get it back, started rolling and shit, like getting a homie on here, man. How you feeling though?
I'm feeling great. I actually I just got done with the Tribe Foundation potluck. It's every last Sunday of the month. I just went to go help set up, get them together real quick. It's where we just get hygiene goods, clothes, anything that just people need. And we just throw a big ass party in the park every last Sunday. I just got done with that. Just ripped a fat ass bong. I ain't even gonna hold you. I feel great, boy. I feel great.
That's what's up. I need to get tapped into with you on that shit too. We've been talking about that a lot too. Just giving back for real. Like,
yes,
I feel like that's a big thing. Just as I get older. As we get older, we become even more mature. I'm like, I need to give back a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or find ways to give back. And we've been talking about a lot of that shit, actually, man. I was tapped in with a few guys trying to do that, just with even like this that we got going on right now, just getting younger kids involved with like media, podcasts in general, learning how to run a podcast, how to start a podcast, because it's the youth, it's the future. You want to hear from them for real,
if
man.
you get these kids, like, if you can give them all the tools that we have right now, the point of growth and evolution is you give a 12-year-old all this, by the time they our age, we not even going to be able to understand really what they doing, which is the whole goal. We are supposed to be able to get to a point to where we don't understand the youth, we just support them because they know how to rock. They learn from us the right way, give them proper tutelage. So that's what I'm all in. And just from personal experience, especially being like homeless, and also just like you was playing Contemporaries by Devin Burgess, and that song it hits my soul every time. I listen to that song probably about 2 to 3 times every day. Just cause like when he say stunting on all my contemporaries, I've had a bunch of contemporaries that, you know, ain't really shown the love and the support that would help benefit and put not just me, but many of our peers in positions to where we didn't have to do a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
So I like to do the opposite. Give them everything I got and then let them rock, and then fucking hopefully in the future, how humans work, they gonna look out when we older, be like, nah, you rocked out with me and you helped me get here, and that's just how it works. So that's all the motivation is for that, for real. For
sure. And that makes a whole lot of sense, man. And sometimes, you know, people need it explained like that because they just don't understand it for what it is. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of times that's older people. And not only that, like we get older, we have to understand that for sure. Like,
can't become the boomers.
Like, exactly.
Can't become the boomers.
And I get caught up in that sometimes, and I'm like, man, maybe it's just like I try to think of how I felt when I was younger. Like,
come on.
I'm like, man, I don't know. Maybe this nigga really ain't tripping, man. Maybe he just this is just what the fuck going on, man. You know what I mean? So I totally get it from that aspect, man. And that's why I think that shit is super important, man. I be speaking that shit all the time. I talk to my girl about that shit all the time just because I have a child now. I have a boy. And not only that, I have a girl that's on the way. She's due in December. So it's like,
congratulations.
Appreciate it. So it's like, that shit is super important to me. It was even before I had kids, it was important to me, but now it's even more so important.
When you get to see how just the small things you do, you be like, where you? Oh, I do that shit. You really be learning. Okay, damn. Okay.
Y'all really be watching. Like that's what I take away from a lot of that. Like, damn, okay, all right. So I really gotta be on my shit now.
Well, see, then I'm gonna just make this short because I can accidentally go too far on this. This is why when, like, to me, a lot of the shit that goes on in big entertainment and big industry, as far as just entertainment in general, is the game is so fucked up is because the corniest motherfuckers have been allowed to rock and become the gatekeepers.
Okay.
And so when you allow corniness to consistently rock out, now what is the new standard in tone? It's corn. So all the shit, in order to get to them positions now, you got to do some corny fucking shit in order to get to the position that you see yourself want to be in.
Right.
Because we allowed the corn to rock. And so now that's why I believe, like, Fred Hampton's one of my all-time favorite activists of all time. So I just think this nigga was 21 years old when he died, when he was murdered. 21 years old. Nigga, I'm 30. And I have not had anywhere close to a smidgen of an impact that 21-year-old man had. So when I think of that, I'm like, so if I just feed some information to a 10-year-old, potentially that 10-year-old could actually be a 21-year-old Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
But instead, we just be stifling and then try to copy the corn, so we don't even allow the opportunities for another Freds to pop up.
Right.
Just because the corn is the
I don't think people are willing to be different sometimes, just because they're too afraid of obviously what people are going to think about them, how they're going to be looked at, and even if they're already being looked at a particular way already, especially like people of color, like you are already being looked at a particular type of way. Now you about to go against your own grain and do some more other shit. They definitely about to think
you a weirdo ass nigga.
Yeah, now don't nobody fuck with you. You know what I mean? So I definitely I get it from that. You know what I mean? That that aspect.
That's why mushrooms help. Mushrooms help you not give a fuck.
Man, let me tell you, bro. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's why I don't know. Especially now, I just try to do different things, man. Even eat different things, man, or just be like, you know what? I don't want to be like this no more. I want to change.
That's literally it. I don't want to be like this no more. And people don't realize you don't. You don't have to be like
this. And some people think of that like they push that on some negative shit though. Especially when people start to see you change. They say you changed, and you change is supposed to be negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, when naturally when people talk about that shit, you changed, bro.
Like, yeah.
Nah, I changed for good. My G, like that's you know what I mean? That's what we supposed to be.
My brain got more crisp. Like,
you know what I mean? So, yeah, hell yeah, man. So I see you a lot, like, in this this culture, man, this scene, man. You're tapped all the way in,
yeah,
bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How did you start? Like, what made you so, you know, wanting to be so tapped in with everything here? What was it, you know, that kind of was that spark, or how did you get introduced to the shit here?
Well, really, I come from a music family.
Okay.
My mother, her name is Abia. She is one of the like underground like hip hop, one of the most like legendary artists in Cincinnati. When I was a kid, this is funny. I got in trouble when I was in second grade because she used to go to these meetings for this thing called Scribble Jam. Scribble Jam was
I got something for you too.
Bro, the interconnection. I'm telling you, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
So I used to sit on these Scribble Jam meetings. Scribble Jam is where Eminem he got bodied. I'm forgetting the dude's name. He from here. He got bodied in a battle, but since he a white dude, and he was cold, he got put on this whole like pedestal. And actually, Scribble Jam is the reason why Eminem is Eminem today, because he got that notoriety.
Yeah.
This is where also like Atmosphere fucking like first was like getting like put on and popping and shit. So like Scribble Jam historically is like one of the like underground hip hop craziest things to ever like exist ever. That's why also Cincinnati is one of the greatest and most disrespectful musical cities of all time.
Yeah.
So I got to see this at a young age, and they used to, you know, cuss, say all this crazy shit. So I was playing tag, and we playing freeze tag. I'm at the tree. I'm like, whoever get tagged sucks dick. I'm second grade. Teacher come up talking about some, what did you say? I'm like, I repeat it. I'm like, whoever gets tagged sucks dick. And motherfucker, I get sent straight to the office. They're like, where'd you learn that? I'm like, the meeting with my mom's friends. I accidentally snitched on my mama. She more mad at me that I snitched on her to the teachers and shit. And so since I can remember, I've always been around like pretty prominent musical people. So I give all of that to my mama just being tapped in.
It's so weird that I never ran into you when I was young.
So it's because
I probably did. Honestly.
The reason was because I used to do music. I performed at fucking Warped Tour when I was 12 and 13 years old.
Okay.
I had Animal Crackers. Animal Crackers is one of the like most famous in the world DJing groups ever. They was my DJs.
Yeah.
And so when I was 12 and 13, that was that. But then when I went to school, I was so ashamed and so embarrassed that I would lie and hide, and I would not tell anybody about that shit because, like, just like you said, people are scared to be themselves. I was scared to be myself. I was scared to live in my truth because it wasn't cool to the people I was around at the time. And so I put that all to the side, and my mom was always pushing me like, come on, do me. No, I pushed that away. Yeah. So I really tried to carve my own path too, because my mom is very, she's her, and she got like, she just puts me on so much that like used to put me on so much that like I hated that shit. I'm like, I want to do it myself. I want my own mark, because it's just living in her shadow is a real thing.
Right.
And so this is the funniest shit. In 2011, I was 19. I saw this post on Facebook that she had shared, and it was a Liv. Nigga, why did she book Liv for one of his first shows at the motherfucking Mockbee in 2011?
Damn.
I saw that and I was like, I hit her up. I was like, you know, Liv? She's like, oh yeah, he's such a sweetheart. I love him. He's really good. I tried to introduce you to him, but that's when you were doing all your crazy shit. I was like, oh, word. So that's kind of like what we was talking about before. Like divine intervention is a real thing because I love to be honest about who I was in that time, and I didn't take relationships seriously. I was very mentally ill, fucked up on drugs, alcohol, stealing from fucking loved ones, doing a whole bunch of real foul ass motherfucking shit.
Yeah.
So I like ruined all the relationships with the people I cared about at that time. So I'm blessed that the universe didn't introduce me to other people to where now at that time when I'm the illest I possibly can be with people who have not came up and grew up with me and know my actual soul essence, I would have ruined all them relationships of being a fuck boy, and I would have been known as a fuck boy throughout all of these groups. Yeah. Where that's why thank you, universe. I appreciate
it's timing.
I appreciate you.
It's timing.
For real.
Everything is timing, man. Like, you know, I don't know. Time is just, it's a crazy concept when you think about it. It's wild. You know what I mean? And how everything. Even if we just think about, you know, that how we know what time is now. Just think about how that shit was pretty much developed and created. Like, it was always here, but we just kind of put a foundation around it. Yes. It's crazy shit. And we've done that from the beginning of time.
Bruh.
You know what I mean?
It's how we kind of got our reality.
It's in our DNA, my G. Like, not only ours, but plants, animals, everything. Just, it's based off of timing. Everything.
So the crazy part is, too, is like, this is trippy, but like we always time travel. And the reason we always time travel is because when you look up at the motherfucking sky, right, especially at nighttime, every star you seeing, you're not seeing real time. You seeing millions of years into the past. If there's a planet seeing our light and they see it like right now, they're not going to get that light till about 1 million, 2 million years later. So when I think about that, I'm like, so technically we always time traveling. We always get to see into different pasts.
Not only that,
and
like
futures.
The universe is still expanding. Like, it hasn't stopped expanding.
Exactly.
Like, it's been an explosion this whole time. Like, we're just
we are time. We are a representation of the universe. So we are time.
I'm gonna have to tap into you with a whole lot of that. Like, I get into like a lot of that shit, like the string theories and everything.
That's my shit, man.
Like, I just be in there, man. But yeah, so you've been tapped in for a minute since you've been younger, man. And you say you went to where'd you go to school?
I went to school for creative and performing arts.
Okay.
My major was drama. Our school is a fucked up place, especially to go as a teenager, because the administration and pretty much all art schools, they do some weird Lord of the Flies shit, and they pit everybody against each other. And the people who dick ride and dick suck, the administrators and the teachers, they get the fire roles. Not the people who work the hardest or are the coldest. The people who suck the most dick. They get the most roles.
So, was you there when they was doing
Oh yeah.
What, I can't even think of
taking the stage, man. So that shit was funny. So shout out my brother Aris, man. So my brother Aris was on there. And so I would always be like, you know, be like, hey, you trying to go smoke real quick? Like, hell yeah, man, fuck this film and shit. So I would always be involved with that. Behind the scenes, all that shit was fake and phony. Every single thing. That's how, like, I used to be so into reality television when I was in high school. I used to love Flavor of Love, motherfucking I Love New York. That was my type of shit. I used to be in a Road Rules Challenge, all that shit, man. That was my motherfucking shit. When you see that shit live, though, you see, like, damn, this is a script. This is a scripted television show. I'm talking about, when you even think about this nastiness, right? You got kids. These are 16-year-old kids, right? Niggas broke up a year ago. They making them go and rerun relationships just to get motherfucking film, bruh. Niggas been broken up for a whole year. Niggas done cheated on hoes, the whole shebang-a-bang. Now you got to send them back into the scene. They got to do this fake-ass lovey-dovey shit. It was... They made us late for classes because we had to wait, like, while they filming scenes and all this crazy shit. It was like...
So y'all was doing that, like, during school hours?
During school hours, fam. During school hours. This shit, they, like, had to change the lights.
Did it feel like that shit was, like, in the way and shit?
We hated... Oh, like, we used to, like... We was terrible kids. We would, like, take some of their, like, equipment, throw in the trash, make them go find that shit. Like, we was wild because you making our day-to-day harder. We ain't getting paid.
Right.
We just trying to go to class.
Right.
Even the motherfuckers that did get paid, this is why it's sick too, because it's all a bunch of just like greedy, illegal shit for real, because they got to do these hours during school too. Right. So let's just say 3 hours during the school day. You doing this. They got to stay an extra motherfucking like 4 to 5 hours every day after school to do some more filming and shit. Whether they getting filmed or not, they just got to be on set. That's 8 extra hours a day.
Yeah.
They all got like $15,000 or $20,000 checks. When you break it down, they probably made about $3 an hour. $3 an hour. The MTV producer and everybody else, they made ractoids.
I bet.
But them kids, they exploited them kids and made them work. And hell of them niggas fucked up now. Like, hell of them are fucked up because you can imagine how it feels to be, oh my God, I'm a teenage fucking reality star. Like, motherfuckers know. Now you have this conflated ego because you were chosen. Most of the people on the show, they was chosen. Only a couple of people was actually from the school. They actually recruited motherfuckers to go to the school just to be on the show. Yeah. Now you see them, they ain't got shit.
Yeah. I feel like it was just the wrong time. Like, that's why it's just crazy. It all goes back to timing. Because I feel like if they did shit like that now,
oh, it would pop off.
Oh my God.
Oh, these kids would love that shit.
Yeah,
these
exactly.
Kids.
Because then they really wouldn't need, like, I'd be like, give me the 20,000, whatever, because I'm popping.
You just blew my mind too, because we was outside. We was actually outside. Like that's when outside was a real fucking. It was
only like
thing.
MySpace, I think, at the time that shit was really.
Facebook
was there,
still,
but it wasn't.
Motherfuckers weren't using it like that.
Yeah, I think it was still only available to like college students at the time.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
So
it was.
I think it was just MySpace. That was it. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
I mean, so that's why I'm like, damn, that shit happened now, just with all like the ammunition they would have.
That would actually. That's
the thing though.
A great point. Holy shit.
But knowing how these corporations work,
bruh,
it would be something in them contracts that's like, we own not only this, but we own your likeness for how many ever years afterwards. That's how they would fuck these kids over.
Well, it's crazy too, because timing just that actually got me thinking, because they had the first ever teenage gay couple in reality TV history.
Yeah.
It was my nigga Matthew, shout out Matthew Dunnigan, and his partner Malik at the time. Mm-hmm. And they actually they kissed on the motherfucking and everything. It's 2009. Yeah. Like, you do that in 2022, that's the number one show in all the motherfucking world.
Oh yeah.
That busts my head. That's crazy.
For sure.
Holy shit.
Yeah, nah.
Because then in 2009, oh, man, these gay ass niggas, what the fuck? They do that now. Oh, wow. What a loving and open relationship. Why is it? The mindset would make that more booming. That's absolutely crazy, man.
I mean, you see it now. Just with these kids that got like phones and they doing their own shit. And they doing shit and it's getting reactions. Everything gets a reaction if you can get enough people riled up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I see so many different conversations that just, I feel like it's like every other week is some random wild shit that everybody talking about. Like, I think the last one we talked about was when we was on, what was it? With the dude that he only brought the one kid, the McDonald's and shit.
Bruh. And it was that whole shit was a skit and fake, but it brought out some real conversations though. It was like,
for sure. Like, and I get that, like, I understand all that, but it's just like, bro,
this is fake. This is fake news. This is fake news.
Week, like, I just be like, bro, please, like, get this shit a rest. Like, I just be like,
see, I catch. The fucked up part is I catch myself like falling into that shit too, because I have the confidence in myself that the type of person I am, I can actually focus on a lot of different things and not be distracted. It's just it's how I've kind of carved my personal ADHD. Like, instead of it hindering me, I understand when my brain does go off on something, it's okay to go and actually just get deeper on that thought. Yeah. Stop just letting it fly. It already got to the sky. Now let's direct that path and let's ride that path out. So I actually learned I have a lot of mental capacity for that. What I realize is when I personally talk about it, a lot of people don't have that mental capacity for it. And motherfuckers do listen to me. So now that's where I understand I am being involved in the bullshit and I am helping, not in a positive way by even talking about it, because what I can handle ain't what other people can handle. Right. And I be joking about the shit because I don't give a fuck. If it really ain't got to do with regenerating the earth, I truly, and if it ain't helping my people come up, I don't give a fuck about it. But I understand a lot of people actually do be giving a fuck about all this shit.
Yeah,
and,
some people
and
do.
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's some people, like I said, they just be emotionally invested in particular things that when they post shit or when people see that shit, they go fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I see it way too many times, and some people use that shit to their advantage, and you can get enough people riled up. I'm telling you could do fucking anything, bro.
Bruh. So this is always funny. I critique Kanye West the most of any celebrity. The reason I critique Kanye West the most is because when I was 10 to 22 years old, I wanted to be Kanye West. When I like saw him and I heard him and like the things that he was speaking, like the first time I heard him was Through the Wire, when he was like, I was like, man, he's speaking to my soul. He's speaking to people who truly, they have this innate sense of confidence within themselves, but they don't quite know how to push it because of their environment. The brashness, the just speaking from the heart, not allowing the brain to process it right, just speaking right from here, letting all that out. These are all the things that I completely emulated from Kanye, because that's how much I really looked up to this man. For sure. It's also some nasty celebrity idol worship, because like I literally would say the like craziest shit as a teenager. Like, nah, I'm trying to tell you, if Kanye wanted me to be, bro, I'll go get that nigga. I'll tie shoes for him. I was literally on some like real dick riding crazy shit. Like, I really love that man. I loved when he started just to do more specifically with like the Joel Osteen shit, right? That's the one that got me. Then I was like, oh damn. So I have been idol worshiping a complete fucking stranger based off of the art that they have presented to me via clothing and music. And I'm acting like I know this nigga. I am getting so emotionally invested because I have put myself in that position. Like, this is my motherfucking family. Like, this is my peoples. But I don't know this nigga.
That shit happens to a lot of people, though. But that just goes to credit Ye, because some people just really know how to
rile it up.
You know what I mean?
Knows how to rile it up.
Yeah.
MAGA had some bullshit, absolute bullshit, riling niggas up, selling shit,
a lot of people that
selling
just
shit
ain't
in
gonna
garbage
do shit
bags.
like that.
It's some bullshit and picking and doing nasty shit of like just also being lazy, aesthetically designed, but also like trying to pick off like thrift store culture, but with way higher prices. Guess what it does though? I'm talking about it. I'm riled up about it. This shit is crazy. Like, really, like what you say, you on point. It's so easy to get riled up about shit that whether you know you got emotional investment in it or not, motherfucker, one thing gets said and you're like, why am I tapped into this like this? This is insane. What the fuck?
And it's so easier to be tapped into the shit now just because of fucking your phone. Like, you can see everything at split
second.
Black
mirror, nigga. That is the black mirror.
Yeah, the split second, you can see everything that's fucking going on in the world. Anything at real time.
That camera. You know, my nigga TK, shout out TK. He bust my head with that camera. So the phone don't listen to you. That's an actual fact. Your phone is not listening to you. It's actually more sinister. Your phone camera on the front has this red, it's like this red retina scanner. So it looks at your eyes as you're scrolling through your phone. It don't need to listen because it has the technology to see if you spend an extra 0.5 seconds on a post. It's going to catch that on that scanner. And it's going to see that your attention was drawn to this. It's going to see what was on your phone screen at that time where you got that split second of more attention. Now you finna get an ad for a bow and arrow because you was just looking at some hunting shit for an extra split second. You ain't have to say nothing. It wasn't reading your mind. It's reading your motherfucking eyes.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
That is more sinister to me than any. I'd rather you listen to me than motherfucking read my eyes.
But that's the thing. You don't need that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You literally don't. That's why everything's set up the way it is on phones and social media. You scroll up and down. You know what I mean? It's natural. You do it really quickly.
Back to what Ye said about the fucking Angry Bird shit. That is an actual real marketing fucking scheme that they do. Marketing has nothing to do with actual marketing. It's 100% psychology. So
for sure.
doing these little pools, Soon as you get that motherfucking date nap, your motherfucking finger already is programmed and trained to do that.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is actually crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens, man. It's crazy. I took a class in high school. It was, what was it, sports marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Steely, man. But we were talking about just, like, restaurants. And, like, their primary colors and their secondary colors.
Bruh.
Look at a lot of them. They're red and yellow. A lot of them are.
Yes.
And that just naturally triggers something off in your brain that you're hungry and you're ready to eat.
Food.
Like, damn, I am hungry. And then, boom,
it might
they
be that red might even be just something like, myoglobin or blood. Like, that might just has it because we are animals.
Yeah.
So that might just spark something like, it's time to feast because that's the color of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
for sure.
We are. It's so crazy. Not just humans. All of us are like really organic computers.
Oh yeah, no.
All of us
I've
can
learned,
be fucking programmed.
I've learned a lot of shit, bro. Like they talk about how they have like store flow set up. When you walk into a store, you naturally go to the right every time. So they put particular things on that side of the store when you walk in because that's what they want to hit you with. They don't want you to see that shit last. They want that to be the first shit you see when you walk in the store. So when the next time you walk in the store and you walk to the fucking right, because we know you are, look at all the shit that's over there.
So I wonder if they do that in countries differently. I wonder if in America they do that because we always we how we drive, you know what I'm saying? We always on the right side.
Yeah.
I wonder if they understood, everybody already used to going to the right. Let's keep everything on the right side, and that's gonna get the attention.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
That's
I wonder.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's people. If we thought of this idea, they already thought of it and made it better and already streamlined it.
They've been done. They did that shit years ago, bro. You know what I mean? We just not thinking about the shit, but. Yeah, man, that's just the psychology of a lot of just consumer. You know what I mean? Being a consumer, like you gotta think like a consumer if you want to sell to a consumer. So
absolutely,
that's how they hit these people, man. They do it all the fucking time, and now it's so dangerous because it's on this motherfucker all the time,
bruh. So like literally, the richest motherfuckers and the most wealthy people in the world, they don't have Facebook. They don't have Instagram.
Don't have phones.
They don't have. If they have a phone, they literally have the old school motherfucking flip joint to where they can get no internet because they understand and they don't have a big enough hubris, or they can check their hubris that they understand it can be manipulated too.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Their games are way different because when they look at their phone, they not looking at an ad. They looking at their direct competitors.
Yeah.
And they look like, oh, you trying to get me, motherfucker. I see what's going on. Okay. So they game is different because it's on a whole different scale. So these motherfuckers literally, they looking like they playing whole entire games together. Whereas for us, they just picking us off.
Yeah.
And that is crazy.
Man. Yeah. And that shit happens every day.
Bruh.
And they do it, like I said, with timing and everything. Like, when you get certain ads, when you get certain things, like, man, these people know what the fuck they doing, man. Like, I'll tell you a crazy thing, man. Like, we like Disney a lot, and like Disney World and all those things. So they puff out this, like, artificial smell and shit on Main Street. When you're walking down, like, if you see the castle's all the way down the street. So all those little shops and everything. On top of the stores, they're pushing out this artificial smell like candy, popcorn. It's not even the natural shit that's inside there. So when you smelling that,
they're just giving you the terps.
Oh yeah, you hitting it. You like, damn, that smell good. I want to go get some of that shit. You walk right into that motherfucking store and get some.
Bruh.
They hit people like that all the time there, man.
That's crazy. So that again, that's science, and that can link into cannabis too, because that's what I be trying to tell people about terpenes.
Yeah.
So terpenes are just.
We could talk about that shit too, because I know you hella tapped into the cannabis industry too, man.
Yeah, terpenes they're hydrocarbons, so they're carbons that bind to water, and terpenes are what give everything they smell. That's all it is. Terpenes are found in all of our foods, and they're found in nature, but they're also found in labs, because what terpenes do, they activate things. We have a chemical reaction with them. So that's so funny that they literally know that the popcorn terp, right? That's going to send something in your brain and be like, I'm chemically reacting with your whole entire shit to pull you in this motherfucker. That is crazy.
And you know, like,
it's sensory warfare. That is sensory warfare.
And you know, some people are way more susceptible to that shit than others. Like me, I smell it. Damn, that smell good. I might get some on the way back. Someone that might be a little bit more obese eats a little bit more, or someone that just loves like
who's just addicted as fuck to sugar
or popcorn, exactly all that shit. It might hit him, and soon, I gotta get some,
bruh.
You know what I mean,
so my boy 2 Mac, you know, when you at the movie theaters and they got that Coca-Cola ad where they pouring and they got all them sounds, bruh. He told me that they literally just off of them noises, all of those sounds. That makes people go right before the movie starts and go cop a motherfucking drink. Yeah. Just the sounds and looking at it.
I can't remember. The movies does something else too. I can't remember exactly what they do. Because you got to remember, they don't make money off of the ticket sales. So they have to go that extra mile and get people to buy $10 fucking.
It's like it's just like stadiums. They don't make no money off them tickets. They make money off the fucking off the concessions.
You know what I mean? So it's totally understandable from, you know, certain aspects, just because these folks trying to make money, man, and they trying to get you hooked in one way or another.
The way to do it is I'm finding is just so much more foul, and I think what I'm trying to understand is what's the
controlling.
What's the level of like actual like decent manipulation and fucked up manipulation? Because no matter what, it is manipulation. When you are trying to get somebody to buy into whatever you're doing, it don't matter, you're manipulating that person.
For sure.
So like what is the line to where it makes that manipulation okay? Is it the intent? Because our intent is good for us and our families, but that could go fuck up 1,000 other families because of our vision of what we looking for it. So that's where I always the manipulation aspect is always something I struggle with, because I'm like, I do
based off
like
of their intent,
I do manipulate because I do know how to pull at people's heartstrings with certain things. But I like to think that I do it in a good way, because I like to pull people's heartstrings to care. I don't pull people's heartstrings to go and be like, yo, go cop my shit. I pull the heartstrings to, hey, yo, shit's fucked up. You should be fucking caring about this. So I'm going to put it in ways to you to where you gonna feel it. I'm gonna low-key manipulate you into feeling. Yeah. So like that's where like it's a weird nuance. It's a weird nuance.
Yeah, it happens because people feel like they need to get this shit across, like because they feel so invested in it, or it's that important to them that they gonna have to. Some people go really far with this shit. They go too far with this shit. It's the
Kanye lessons. I'm trying to tell you, it's the Ye lessons.
You know what I mean? Like some people do go very far with this shit. I'm like, I get it. You're trying to make your point, but damn, like we gotta relax just a little bit, just a tad bit. I feel like we can figure out a different way to do some of this shit.
Nah, absolutely.
But definitely. But what got you into like cannabis? Like really getting into like besides just smoking, you know what I mean? Like what?
So that was a fun journey.
What was that like?
So I've been smoking since first time I smoked, I was 12. I didn't get high. Smoked when I was 13 and then did get high. And then I've been consistently smoking heavily since I've been 15 years old. I didn't start smoking real weed until I was 27 years old. I'm 30 now. So 3 years ago is when I first started smoking actual weed.
What do you mean by that?
So my understanding now of all of this is just like it's so easy to just do things because they're presented in front of you without asking any questions. Yeah. So especially when it comes to like drugs, right? Right. Any drugs. Right. I'm a severe sugar addict. That's like my actual drug right now that I'm having the hardest time kicking, because I will fuck some candy up. It's a real issue though. It's a true issue. People don't like to look at sugar as a drug, but sugar is the most detrimental drug on you because it's the slow killer. It's what's going to give you cancer. It's what's going to give you hypertension. It's what's going to give you diabetes. Yeah. It's not an if, it's a when it's going to give it to you. Yeah. So that is what I'm trying to kick right now. With the cannabis though, I got into it because I stopped drinking. And the reason I'm bringing the sugar is because I stopped drinking and I was going through real bad mental illness because I was, all the shit I was running and hiding from was just smacking my shit all at one time. Yeah. And I was drinking about a fifth and like a 12-pack about 5 to 6 days a week every day. Like there would be one day of the week where I wouldn't do that. And so I quit cold turkey. Don't quit cold turkey. If you a severe drinker, I'm telling you right now, don't ever motherfucking do that shit in your life because you actually can die. You really might die. I had a heart attack. And I don't tell people this a lot because I didn't actually know it was a heart attack. I just thought it was a panic attack. I thought it was a very crazy panic attack. But it was 2 weeks after I stopped drinking. I'm driving on the highway and I just start busting out in these crazy sweats. I'm having all these crazy thoughts like, oh, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm talking about like out of nowhere, like I am there. I'm pouring sweat. My heart is doing some crazy shit. So I got to pull over. So I turned the music all the way up and I pulled up, turn the air down. And I will myself to life. Like I felt myself, like, you know, I don't know if you ever passed out before, but when you feel yourself kind of going and you getting that woozy, I was like, nope, I'm not going. You got me fucked up. Hell nah. And I literally willed myself to keep my fucking, to not pass out. Yeah. So when that happened, that's when I ain't really think about it that much. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Just I don't want to think about health issues, especially as a black man. Like thinking about health issues is the last thing that I want to do because I know I'm probably fucked up.
Yeah. Nah, you get to tripping and shit.
I already know. I know I'm fucked up. I know I'm fucked up. You get to tripping. And so a month later, I was like, I need to do this. And I was about to start making my first tincture. And they was having the first ever Detroit Cannabis Cup. And I was like, oh my God, this is actually accessible. It's only 4 hours away. Yeah. I can drive there. It's only $100 for the weekend. All right, bet. So I brought my nigga Chelsea. Shout out Chelsea. She's actually the one that really, really helped me find the people I needed to find in the spaces that I was in. Mm-hmm. So when I went to the Cannabis Cup, my mind was motherfucking blown. I'm talking about motherfuckers got the leaf blower with the weed. Yeah. It's like, all that crazy I've never seen anything like this in my life. So I'm like a kid in a candy store. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm losing my shit. There's this stand. It's called Gage Green Group. Mm-hmm. And I walk past and I see they nug. And I promise you, bruh, I've never seen nug that looked like this in my entire life. It like, they just look like shiny little, just like gumdrops. I was like, what the fuck? So then they was like, oh yeah, this is organic. And I was like, I didn't know what organic weed was at that point. Like I had no clue. I'm like, I never really thought there is organic food, but I never thought about the organic cannabis aspect. Right. So I copped like $400 worth, which was like, the Ace were going for 50. So like I copped hella. There was another one called Organic Cultivations I went to, copped about another like 200-300. Boom, I'm tapped out because I go and I get some shake. I get a 1/4 pound of shake because that's what I'm going to make my tincture with because my goal is to make lotions at this time, to make lotions and like a whole bunch of shit that I can sell, just cannabis items. For sure. Because that's what the business I was trying to get going. Yeah. Man, my whole trajectory got turned once I smoked that fucking organic cannabis for the first time. I never experienced something like that in my life because like normally with just like non-organic weed, how I like to explain it, there's a cloud. It's just like you have like, it's like, there's just like it's a clear fog. When you get that organic cannabis, it's just like this rush of energy and pure, like just thought, just pure thought. It literally feels like you instantaneously access meditation without having to do any of the actual like, you know, entry levels of calming. You instantly send yourself off into meditation. Yeah,
there's the weed now is definitely like cosmetic, like almost.
That's the word. That's the 100. It is like, hot. It looks good.
Yeah,
but
some
when
of
you
it
smoke,
tastes crazy too. Like I ain't gonna hold you, but there has been like weed that I've had like in the past that's been super earthy and it just feels different. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm talking about I had some I literally could taste the ground. Like, and it wasn't like nasty. No. It was like, just think of like just natural untapped soil. Just
So
that type shit.
So what that's called terroir. So the terroir is all of the things in nature that are going into the soil or the air, the rain, the wind, everything. all of those are contributing factors to how your shit is about to taste.
Okay, one question. So, because I've been tapped in a little bit with it, you know what I mean? And I know I seen one person they were growing, and I'm glad you brought that up because like they had other shit in like this same mixture.
Companion
shit.
growing.
Yeah. So I've never thought about it like that. Like, can it really, affect certain things and shit like that? Like, I feel like it can, man. I've seen a lot of like I'm super like, well, I'm not super tapped into the shit, but like I'm super like I'm really intrigued.
Yes,
by a lot
absolutely.
Of it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So the answer is yes. And so cannabis is the most magical, literally, it's the most magical plant to ever exist, ever. There's a lot of theories that there's like this theory, there's this, I'm forgetting, it starts with the S, but there's this African tribe. And aliens had literally came down and they gave this African tribe the cannabis plant, the sensimilla plant is what it was called. And they gave them this plant because like they're like, this plant can do anything. It can feed you. It can heal all of your wounds, whatever you got. This is like the magical plant. The coolest part about it is it's how easy it is to adapt and how strong it is. So in Humboldt, so I'm almost a soil smith. A soil smith is just somebody who literally, it's just like a blacksmith. It's somebody who can literally just create perfect soil compositions just on the fly. And so I'm almost there. I just got a couple more processes and I knocked that out. But what I learned is soil is always the best because of the relationships that are created. So like when you grow in like salts and like hydro grow, what happens is you are removing all of the medicine because we can't imitate that. We're humans. We have a finite amount of knowledge and things that we can do because we are a part of the system. The soil gonna do it all.
Right.
So when you do salt grows or you're growing like cocoa coir and stuff like that, you're removing all of the medicine. Just offer it. That doesn't mean it's gonna be bad weed. I want to make that. If you are a great grower, you gonna grow some fire fucking weed. Bottom line. But you're not going to get that full spectrum what the plant was truly intended for. So in Humboldt, one of my homies, she had did this experiment where she planted like, I think like 2 rows right next to apple trees. And then she planted 2 rows next to some blueberry bushes. And then all the ones in the middle, she just kept them. Yo. The ones on the sides literally started to take on apple terps, and you were getting apple notes from the weed on the apple side. And on the berry side, he's getting fucking like blackberry and raspberry notes from the nug. So what happens is mycelium is like, I like to explain, it's the original internet, right? Mycelium is, if you go in healthy soil, it's like, they're not roots, but they're white, fuzzy little like strings. What they do is they connect to everything in the soil and they allow for instantaneous communication at the speed of light. So when you get in that soil and them roots, now they starting to have them conversations with the cannabis, they're taking each other's traits on now. The cool thing about cannabis is the cannabis actually wants to take on as many of those as possible because it's looking for genetic diversity. It's searching for genetic diversity. So if you bringing me on this apple and these berries, I'm going to take all that because we're going to store that in the gene pool and that might come out way, way later, but it's trying to survive. So the more diverse it is, the stronger it's going to be able to be in any fucking environment.
So what about like on the reverse tip, what about like the apples and the berries? Did
they don't have
change?
an effect. They don't have an effect.
So
and so have you ever seen Black Jesus?
Yeah.
So you know how when they had the tomatoes that got you high? They've actually done mass experiments because they're cousins. Tomatoes, hops are what beer is made out of.
Right.
And cannabis, they're related. So they have actually learned that you don't get any THC effects or whatnot, but there's some fucking tomatoes that taste like Kush because they grew them in the same areas as some like heavy like OG Kushes. So plants in the same family will actually take on the cannabis like terpenes. They just won't take on any of the actual psychedelic or healing effects, but they will actually trade fucking flavors and terpenes. And the terpenes do have a medicinal effect too. So, for instance, myrcene is gas. That's what that terp is. gas every single time is going to have a sedative effect, no matter what.
Right.
So now, if you get some gassy tomatoes, now that tomato is actually going to relax you. It's going to make you fucking chill, just because of the chemical reaction.
Dope.
Just because that's because of the weed, man. Weed is magical, boy. It's magical.
Man. It's crazy because I wonder sometimes like how they did a lot of these flavors because they're too like some of them are like spot fucking on, bro. Like it's kind of scary,
bruh,
the way it is. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
it's honestly
it's frightening sometimes. Like
seeing the process is overwhelming because if you ever for the future, if anybody listening, if you make sure you research your breeder. There's breeders and then there's pollen chuckers. A pollen chucker, somebody who just takes a plant or two and they'll take the pollen off a male plant and then they'll just do a couple nugs, right? Mm-hmm. Then they'll take that and once it has the seeds and they'll fucking go release those seeds. Mm-hmm. That's not a breeder. To breed, you got to go through at least a couple hundred plants because you got you pheno hunting. You looking for the smell and the flavor. But now, once you got the smell and the flavor, that's only part one. Now you got to go through those phenos, and now you got to find the strongest ones. Yeah. Once you find the ones that they're not really affected by over or under watering. This one isn't affected by powdery mildew. This one isn't really affected by spider mites. Now you take those, now you breed those together and you put those in a pool. Because now you want all the defenses. Now you take the flavors and the looks and now you put those together. Now you got to do several more hundred or thousands of plants to find the one with the smell, taste, and defense. That shit is hard, bruh. Like the space
it's
you have
already,
to have.
I feel like it's already hard enough to grow it. Like just if you're just one day you're like, I just want to grow this. You know, I've grown things in the past, so this can't be that hard. I just feel like that one you gotta be very attentive to. Like,
absolutely.
I feel like it's like I don't know. Yeah,
bruh. I thought this shit was easy, man. People, it's just like everything, man. People make shit look easy. That's that's the shit I be hating about. Shit. It's like, no, wait, hold on, man. Yeah. I'm
be crazy,
several years behind.
Yeah, it'd be crazy because the way I've seen, they be like, yeah, my nigga just got out. He came into the game, and now he fucking this shit up. And I'm like, damn, he did. Let me try. Shit, nigga, I'm just chilling here. Like, and I actually, like, really want to learn.
Yeah.
You get to, you like, ooh,
yeah,
damn, nigga, this shit is,
Well, that's why one of the things, too, with GK fam, too, like, my boy Swooty, shout out Swooty.
Shout out Swooty.
I have a huge goal of intertwining the best organic growers with the best underground artists because they're the same people in different fucking industries. Mm-hmm. And what I see in my vision is I understand the completion of dreams in unison and community. I don't believe in doing nothing by ourselves or none of that. That's impossible. Right. It's impossible. So the thing about all of these like growers, right? They grow up in areas to where they don't have to have like social skills to sell. They don't have to be tapped into certain arenas to sell because they're from farmlands. They're from just growing. They're from like real rural country areas, right? Yeah. So they didn't have any time to develop the skills of how to get their product off. They just developed how to make the best product.
Right.
We have the opposite kind of here in our situations. We have to have learned how to sell ourselves to the maximum. Some of our products is okay. Yeah. It's just mediocre, but we can sell the fuck out that mediocre product. That's to me where the combination comes is don't nobody need to go extra and go out their way. Artists, especially black musical artists, need medicine, organic medicine. The organic growers, they need promotion. They need motherfuckers to know about them. Oh my God, it's almost like the artists get the medicine and they promote the medicine. Boom. That's a whole new realm and community to be tapped into.
And I feel like they're trying to every now and then with this shit, man. A lot of it is, I don't know, it's just
people do it cornily. They just do it like, for instance, like, so Khalifa, Wiz Khalifa is one of my like people I used to try to imitate smoking wise. I know for a fact today, on this day, I can smoke way more cannabis than Wiz Khalifa because it's how he markets his weed smoking. Khalifa has only smoked Khalifa Kush for the past like 10, damn near 15 years. He has his own Khalifa Kush.
His own shit.
What happens with weed is you get a tolerance to the same terpenes and the same strains. We don't have an infinite amount of cannabinoid receptors in our brain, so once they fill up, they're filled.
Yeah.
They're not
right.
you high.
I feel it.
You high. So that's why I love mixing and doing a whole bunch of different strains.
Different flavors,
because I want those feelings.
For sure.
If I was to have a smoke off with Khalifa, right, I would blow him out of the water because we not smoking just Khalifa Kush. We doing 12 different strains. He can smoke and do all this stuff and show this marketing of the smoking.
Yeah.
Because
you still
he's
think,
not really getting high.
But do you think it's still giving him good effects, like on his body, even though
absolutely.
The thing is up?
He
so
knows
still...
his body, right? He knows his body, and that is what's making him be able to actually function at the rate that he needs to. But it's the double end cap. It's like, no, it's great for him, but he's also capping about how much he's able to actually smoke. He's able to intake a lot of smoke in his lungs, but he's not able to take a lot of medicine, if that makes sense.
Got you.
That makes a lot of sense. So that is where I'm not hating on it at all. I'm saying that's where I see so people, they latch on because they think he can just smoke all this weed. So if I just get some other niggas to do that same, but they actually got some good weed, people will kind of follow the same suit. All right, let's see if it works.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a way to look at it and see, you know what I mean? I mean, it's worth a try. Shit, fuck it.
Yeah, and
you know
like, I'm like really tapped in.
I think it
with
does work though. I think it does work.
I'm like tapped in with like some real gnarly like growers. Like the shit that I've learned in the past year has like just blew my mind on the state of the industry of cannabis, right? So like, the game is fucked up.
Yeah,
it's
different
real
though, man.
fucked up.
I've had a flavor that's like, his shit is legit. It's just he hasn't sold it though. Like it's not a in type of stores type of cannabis, but it's legitimately exotic. Like
that's the weed I fuck with. That's the weed I fuck with personally.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like, and I understand it because this guy grows like 3-4 flavors maximum because I guess you got to understand how to grow particular flavors.
Yes,
and master that before you for real move on to that. So he's got like 3 that are like that have well-known ones, and then he has one he's created, and that's all he grows the same 4 strains.
So that's your boy is actually. I mean, he knows what the fuck he's doing because I went to this regenerative conference up in Michigan, and there's this dude, his name's Kevin Jodrey. He is one of the biggest cannabis growers in all of the entire world. He grows all of Cookies Nug in Northern California, every year. Yeah. He busts our head to some crazy shit. So, like, I don't fuck with Cookies because it's like, I don't fuck with corporate weed. But I stopped talking as much shit about Cookies because it's complicated. It's like you gotta see what you're fighting for. Are you fighting for you to be that nigga, or are you fighting for actual people to have real medicine and accessible medicine?
Right.
You want to be known as the person giving that medicine, or do you want it to actually fucking be available to those people?
Right.
And
that's
so
understandable.
that's where he busts our head with it. So like, people like, oh, you work for Cookies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but he grows it's regeneratively. He grows it his way. So what I learned was, depending on where you is in America, they not taking a Cali cookies and shipping it to fucking Michigan.
Oh, no.
They hiring Michigan growers to grow that. So depending on where you are in the state, if you in LA, you getting garbage cookies because Sherbinsky grows that. So I'm sorry. I gotta stop being so damn disrespectful. It's not garbage, it's just salt grown, and I don't fuck with salt grown because I just don't like it. It's not garbage, it's just salt grown.
I think that's why I gotta use
my words.
I think they put that shit on the back of their bags now, where it's grown and how it's grown too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they'll say, oh, we got this in, and they'll be like, is it sun grown or this grown? And that's when people, you know what I mean, they have their preferences. So
and because Sherb does know how to grow some fucking fire. I don't want to be fucking rude. It's just I don't fuck with salt weed.
Okay.
And so that weed is quality for me. It's ass, and they're charging the same price. Now if you go to motherfucking NorCal and you get some cookies, I guarantee you it's going to be the best weed you ever smoked in your whole motherfucking life because it was grown by Kevin.
Yeah.
So when I learned that, I'm like, God, this shit is so fucking complicated because like, it's like he busts my head. You gotta.
It's like a franchise, bro.
It
like,
really is.
It's like a franchise.
You gotta know where you at on the totem pole.
Yeah.
Like I am egotistical sometimes, but I check that shit because I like to think that I'm at a certain level. But then when I look around me and I check my reality, I'm like, yo, nigga, you gotta chill your ass out. You is not there yet. Like you gotta do some more work. And so that's the really, really crazy part to see, like, what is your actual goal? Do you want to be that nigga, or do you want to actually garner change and support your family and more loved ones? Yeah. Or do you just want to be that nigga?
Right.
So when he bust my head with that, I was like, oh, okay. It makes sense now. Like, you can fight against cookies all you want. Cookies is coming. Mm-hmm. As a local independent grower,
they gonna hit
no matter what, you can, like, you're either gonna be sucked up or you're going to be overrun.
Oh yeah.
Now all you have to do is say, okay, do I want to at least try to give these people an actual semblance of real? Mm-hmm. Because either way, I'm getting fucked up. It's moving. It's moving. So when he bust my head with that, it kind of restructured how I think about a lot of this shit. Mm-hmm. And like, just understand, I'm not wealthy. I don't come from a wealthy family. I don't have just fucking somebody to be like, yo, here's $250K, just go ham. Like, I do have to, unfortunately, like, understand my morals and move as best as possible as I can in my morals.
That's understandable though, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Some people are just like, nah, I'll move at a respectable pace for myself that I find that I deem respectable. That if I was looking at myself, I'd be like, hey, he's genuine. He's not pissed off at nobody. And he's just moving at his own shit. Like, I compare that kind of like to how we do our podcast. Like, we just put our head down and we keep rolling. We don't really give a fuck about all the other shit. You know what I mean? We try different things. We see if they work. They work. If they don't, we move on to something different. But
this is random because I got ADHD. But I remember I was tapped into that Kevin Samuels episode.
Oh yeah.
Because that shit went so hard. Make sure y'all go tap into that. That is a legendary episode. That shit went hard. It was fucking going crazy. But I thought of something. I was like, damn. Because when I was reflecting, because I have a very morbid sense of humor. I'm fucked up, very, very dark. The more fucked up you can make the joke, the more that I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's go. So when people were joking about him dying, it didn't affect me because I'm like I make death jokes. I make death jokes all the time.
Yeah, people.
So then, but then that's when I had to. When y'all was talking about it, it made me reflect. I'm like, damn, that's actually pretty fucked up, y'all. Like, that is fucked up. That, like, that's why I like listening to your shit, because it made me like self-reflect of like, damn, like, you can joke about like life and you can joke about death, but you didn't like it when motherfuckers was talking about Kobe as soon as he passed, right?
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
And all the shit they said immediately, right? Yeah. Wait a couple weeks, all right? I'll give you that. Wait a couple weeks. But it is real. Like, I do understand it's distasteful. Because you just don't have to say anything. That's what I learned. You like actually just like don't have to say anything. If you ain't rock out with dude, you literally can ignore it. Oh, he passed. Now I don't have to be bombarded with that and ever again. I can just move on. That's back to the point of just being able to fall for the okie dokes and the bullshit. And how they actually have more deeper detrimental effects on like who we are as people. Of like, damn, like, did I fuck with the nigga? Hell nah. But like, the fact that he died alone, and not just the fact that he died the way that us black men die. Hypertension, nigga. Yeah. That's how we die.
That's real.
That's literally how we die. Black men have really, really bad hearts.
Yeah, that nigga loved energy drinks.
Yeah, and
I don't fuck with them.
Back to the sugar.
Yeah. My grandpa used to fuck them up, man. And he had a heart attack back in the day when we was younger. We was in New Orleans. Like, I'll never forget this shit. Like, and ever since then, he's like, he went from like having energy drinks to like 0 sugar ones to like, all right, it's cut.
It's absolutely. So like, when it made me really reflect, listening to that, I'm just like, damn, I am really fucked up.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to chill out. Maybe I need to fucking have some more humanity and just
like
chill, nigga.
At the end of the day, like, it's shitty regardless.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? And you get caught up in the antics and in the moment, and that's why it's a thin line. I feel like with podcasts, and we're going to talk about yours in a second, but like, I just feel like even we kind of we're pulled into the shit because we talk about a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And like, it's like, nah, we should just ignore all this shit and talk about our own shit. And we can do that, but some of these things I feel like, we can have a conversation about it. Like,
absolutely.
I don't have a problem. You know what I mean? Some of these people that are having these conversations via like social media in the comment section, some of it is unwarranted, but there's a lot of people that I'd be like, all right, let's have a conversation about this, because I feel like we can make something work.
Absolutely.
Or we can improve something.
We can come to a really cool understanding.
Yeah, yeah. And help other people that really can't get that shit across understand. Or get what they trying to tell other people, like, just for other people to understand.
You give them a space like, hey, go rock out. That's why I love wilding out on social media and just being open, because a lot of people perp and cap like they know everything, and they like to just like seem like this other shit.
Yeah.
I like to see them as fucking gritty and grimy as possible. Like what people see with my successes right now, people just see the fruits. I be sharing on my old posts of when literally wasn't nobody interacting with my shit, of really sad, down, depressing, low down shit, of just like low key suicidal shit.
Yeah.
There ain't no interactions.
Yeah.
There ain't none of that.
It don't never be like that with them, bro.
But then you chip away, and then now you say, now people watch you, and now you say, yo, where the fuck y'all come from?
Yeah.
Where was y'all at?
Yeah. And that's why I'm just a firm believer in just putting your head down and working hard, man. And not in the sense of like, you know, bow to nothing and no bullshit like that. I'm just talking about like, if I got a plan and I got some shit that I really want to do, like,
hit the gym.
Look, bro, at the end of no one's gonna do it for me. Nobody's gonna help me. Just like, especially if I don't tell nobody, like, how they gonna read my mind and be like, hey, bro, I know you thinking about this, so let me help you set all this shit up. You know what I mean? Like,
oh God,
that shit is never gonna be that way, bro.
Oh God.
So I'm just a nigga that's like, man, you know what? I need to learn how to do this, or like, damn, there's something just fucked up on this mix, but I don't understand how to fix it. Nigga, I gotta go. I know that I don't understand it. I'm dumb if I don't try to learn how to fix things like that. So I go back and I do those type of things.
Speaking of that slow it down verse, man.
Oh,
that's one of my favorite motherfuckers.
Appreciate it.
Favorite verses.
It's crazy, man.
Go crazy.
I had took a little break from just making music after my mom passed away, and that was the first verse I recorded since my mom had passed.
Oh, shit.
I mean? So that shit means a lot more to me than some people even realize.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn, that's even harder now, man. That's incredible.
I had took a break. I was just like, I really wasn't even mixing a lot of music. I was just like, I'm just trying to just clear my mind and let it go where it wants to go, or venture into something new that I want to do. You know what I mean? And that's when I started, looking at podcasts, watching podcasts, seeing how they had these setups, you know what I mean? Like, it took a while, but then I got back into it. My homie, my brother, he's like, yeah, I need this. I was like, yeah, right, I got you. Went in.
Token?
Nah, Live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the verse. But,
oh, yeah.
But nah, Token, he was from the beginning too. Like, we always had little meetings, write-ups, what we was going to do. But, yeah, man, that shit, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, man. That's you showed out on that one.
Yeah. It's been a little minute, but so what got you into wanting to do a podcast, man? Let's talk about your podcast for a little bit, man. Like, what was it that was just like, you know what? I'm fuck it, we're gonna start one today. Because I know some shit that had me, I was just like, yeah, I want to get in here and do all this shit. But what was it for you that really was like, man, I really want to just,
All right, so there's a couple of them. So I was supposed to start this podcast when I was 24 years old, so 6 years ago.
Okay.
That's when this was supposed to start.
All right.
And it was supposed to be a sports and political podcast with my boy Sam Brown and my cousin Antoine.
Okay.
And we did 2 practice episodes at the bar and shit. But I was so fucked up on drugs at the time that I could not be serious about anything.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just I would be so full of shit, be drunk as hell, be like, oh yeah, bro, we gonna tap you, we gonna do this. I ain't tapping into shit. I was just drunk talking. Literally just talking hella drunk shit. And so, past year, I've been trying to do it, but I've been trying to teach on myself all the like the editing and how to do all that shit. And I finally did one, and then I got discouraged. This was 6 months ago because it wouldn't like upload. I did it on I forgot what the recording thing is, but it wouldn't transfer properly. So I just got real discouraged and not motivated, and I was just gonna be like, all right, fuck it. But I want to curb my social media addiction because I'm extremely addicted to social media, particularly Facebook. And I was also have been extremely tired of giving Mark Zuckerberg hella money just to fucking ban me and censor me and make me change my speech patterns online just because I'm scared to catch a ban. And he's making money off of me. And when I be catching my bans, I see when I see on my feeds, shit be dead. It's not as captivating. Yeah. Understand that I'm a captivating person on that platform, and I'm seeing $0 does not sit right with me. Right. I feel like I'm a lick. I feel like I'm literally supplying somebody with quality entertainment, and they ain't giving me $1. I'm not working for no white nigga for free. You got me fucked up. And you might ban me. It might actually fuck up me having the ability to share my businesses and shit like that. It's that being a lick was the final point of when I came to that realization. I want to start shifting the conversations and the shit that I talk on Facebook to my platform. So now people, they have to come to me if they truly just want to hear the fucking shit that I got to say. You have to seek me, and you have to come here in order to be here. I'm not going to be here just cause it's easy for you to just scroll through. Right. I don't want to do that anymore because it's not conducive to my mental health or my economic health. Right. It's actually, it hurts both of them.
Yeah. No, you totally right on that aspect, because I feel like that's the hardest part about even doing a YouTube or anything like that, getting a crowd from here to go to here, especially any crowd to go to YouTube. It is extremely hard. Not only that, to get them to make a profile and then subscribe. It is I don't
understand, because
it's just it's never.
Now that I'm on YouTube Live, I didn't know it was a social. I did not know YouTube was a social media network. Was a social network. I thought it was just videos. Nah, I already made hella friends with people on YouTube already in 2 weeks type shit. Nah, y'all cool as hell on here. And they really around the world on YouTube.
Right. Oh, yeah. They everywhere.
They're really
YouTube.
Around the world.
You can watch from wherever, man. You get somebody tuning in from across the fucking globe type shit. You know what I mean? And they just might really fuck with what you got going on. I'm just tapped in with this guy now. That's just how it is. He's cool as hell. I fuck with him. You know what I mean? People show they support how they show they support. But, yeah, I think it's tough getting that. Just a crowd to go to YouTube, it's hard, man. Because if you could get that whole crowd to go to YouTube, you'd be even more successful.
Absolutely,
on YouTube, man.
Absolutely. And the other one was, I'm a competitive person, and so when I see certain people do things, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I could do that better. Yeah. So there's two people in particular who are the people who I don't want to overtake. I just want to show myself in the light for people to make their own ideas and see that I am infinitely night and day better than these people. The two people are Joe Budden and Joe Rogan, because to me, those are the two standouts in the podcasting industry. Those are the people. Joe Budden is a real sucker ass nigga, but he has done some really, really, really amazing things in podcasting. Truly, he should not be where he is, being the type of person that he is in the space is how he acts with people. He should be blackballed, but to be able to create these spaces to where they cannot. Yeah, you can't take that shit. They cannot take that. I find that admirable. Yeah, I find the action itself admirable.
Because you don't find that with everybody.
No. I mean, no, he's truly a bad businessman, but is still able to rock out.
That's why it's so dope. What Dame said that shit when he was on the Breakfast Club. He was like, "Nigga, I work for me, nigga. You can't take this shit and go nowhere with it. You know what I mean? And that's like,
that's goals.
Hey, it's the truth, bro. And it's not we ain't knocking nobody. We ain't hating on nobody. That's just the God's honest truth. He could pass that business down. You know what I mean? That's what I'm working on. You know what I mean? Like, even for me, I tell people all the time, all my like royalty checks for music are in my son's name.
That's hard.
You know what I mean?
That's so hard, man.
I don't need them. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Just
straight
I'm going to just move that, you know what I mean, to them.
That's literal wealth.
Literally. And I'm trying to just let that shit go and go and go. And I'm trying to do the same thing with this podcast and network. Like, we want this shit to build. Like, we're adding on new shows all the time and, you know, just trying different things. But that's the goal with a lot of this shit,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Like, you wanna have something at the end of the day. Like, you don't want to work for somebody your whole life and then have what to show for it. Just that you invested
some
a little
paid
money
bills.
and that you
got some
saved
paid
enough
bills
money.
to show for.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, I saved a little bit and I can give a little bit to my kids, and that's about it though. Like,
ain't that crazy?
No one will ever work at this business with my last name again. Like, you could walk in and you can't start where I started here,
bruh. So that
you got to be a janitor or something.
That's
like
why
that.
this
You know
wealth
what I mean?
shit is crazy here. Like I've just been getting into economic, like being like fiscally responsible and like understanding, because I like growing up in my circumstances, I've been very, very economically illiterate or financially illiterate, and so it's so crazy that like parents literally will set their kids up to push them out the house, to go put them into somebody else's hands, to put them at somebody else's whim, to go literally slave for somebody else's dollar, but won't even think of like, I don't want you doing none of that.
Right.
Like there's so many parents. That's why it's so great to see like hear parents like you speak of like actually like already just putting into your children and like truly creating that future wealth, because like
I feel like they backup plans too.
Because
like,
now they're going to be able to skip steps. Growing up poor is not, I really don't believe it creates character. I believe growing up poor creates how to do things in not good ways. You know how to survive.
Regardless
exactly.
if
Just
it's good
know
or bad.
how to survive.
You know what I mean?
If you can actually just like, what if you don't have to grow up poor, but you just have somebody giving you good tutelage?
Right. And it shouldn't be.
It's just that simple.
You know what's so crazy, bro? Like,
why you got to go through the mud if
This
I already been through the mud?
shit dumb as hell, bro. Like, you'll even see artists, bad situations growing up. They have kids, and a lot of their kids go to private schools, and they do all this, and it's like fans say particular things, and it's like, do you not want this nigga to, like, that's what we trying to do. You want him to make him go to this city school, do all that? No, nigga, like, let him go get his education from here, get a scholarship, and not even have to be in the music industry. He can do whatever the fuck he want to do.
It should be all of our goals to raise lame children. That should be all of our goals.
From that
And when
aspect,
I say lame, I mean lame in the best ways possible.
Right.
Like I want my child to be fun and energetic and I kind of want them to be a little bit of a cornball though. When I say cornball, I want them to be Russell Wilson corny. I want them to be like, oh, he's making fucking off jokes, but I don't want a child who grew up in good circumstances to then want to go to some hood shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit that be blowing me.
But I think part of that goes to like media manipulation, bro. That's 100%. It's all perceived manipulation and what looks cool. It's just what it is.
NBA YoungBoy, I believe, is actually now the true music for white shooters. Because none of these motherfucking crazy ass white shooters, they don't listen to
he got a cold
they don't listen to Gunna, they don't listen they do, but not like that expressly. Just Young Boys fans are rich suburban kids who have a lot of money.
They're cultish, bro.
I grew up with a lot of rich kids. Mm-hmm. Yo, they get guns.
Oh yeah.
You know why? Because they can buy them.
Yeah, they can do all that.
They can buy them.
Look, bro, I knew. Look, man, I knew there was kids at other schools,
they're not gonna do nothing with them.
Look,
But
yeah,
they
was doing
they
shit.
can get them.
They was copping big bags. They had bags of the bud and all that. They was doing all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I remember my one dude I work with, man, and like tell me a story. Like, man, they got him a new car, blacked out the tent and everything, and that bitch blowing. Motherfucking, they see him coming home like he's bumping his shit. Sheriff, whatever in the town, it's like rich community. And he was like, man, I know your pops and all this. And he had to call his pops, bring him out here, and made him drive him home. I'm like, man, this shit crazy.
Yo, pops just drew you home, bruh. We would be in 2020 right now.
Man, I'd have been kicked my ass out the car and cuffs.
Oh God,
had the gun at my back of my head, all type shit. But it's just like, hey man, like they fuck with they liked all that shit, man. Like,
well, this is why it's dangerous. It's like the reason it's dangerous is because white suburban kids being like manipulated by NBA YoungBoy is like a whole new realm of white supremacy that we've never seen, that we about to see that we've never seen before.
Yeah, because
NBA YoungBoy makes these white kids feel like they in the trenches. And
I think his music just does that in general. The crazy thing is, what YoungBoy
it don't do that. Like, I don't know why. I love rage music.
I like his music.
I love rage music. Like Lil Uzi to me, like that's the cream of the crop. Rage music, like that's it. When I listen to NBA YoungBoy, I can only listen about 30, 45 seconds before I actually get like a mild headache. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but it's just sonically what it's doing to me. It's not like,
that's understandable.
It's not giving me like Ski Mask or Slump God. Like give me some of that rage. Give me even some old school XXX. Give me that like SoundCloud motherfucking rage. His style, there is seriously like, there's some eerie element. Man. There's like some eerie ass element to it that like I can't put my finger on it.
The thing is, I like a decent amount of it. Yeah. Like some of it, even some of the stuff that's like really melodic. Like I'm like, yo, this is really fucking good.
He does have solid melodies.
You know what I mean?
For
like
sure.
He's super solid. Now I don't know what it is now. Like I don't know. It's the following though, bro. I'm telling you. Like you get on any social media platform. He's got these fans, bro. They changed.
Drew Brees' son is an NBA YoungBoy fan,
bro.
With the fucking shiesty on.
Bro. They changed their profile pictures to that picture of him when he was like, I think it was when he got arrested or some shit. But
yeah.
All of them use it and they put different shit on it. Like they fuck with him heavy, bro.
It's scary.
It's crazy.
It's scary,
and like
bruh.
It's so crazy it affects other artists. To where other artists speak on his fans and shit. Like I think Kodak said something about he was like, yo, I fuck with YoungBoy, but your fans, nigga, like them motherfuckers.
It's almost like Wu-Tang Clan. It's like Wu-Tang Clan. It's almost like Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah,
bruh. Any fucking 35 plus old white dude. Oh, you listen to Wu-Tang. Nigga, what?
Yeah,
what? Man. That's what's gonna end up being when these kids older. They gonna be like, oh, you don't know about that No, you don't know about that real shit. They what?
Who is this YoungBoy and Dirk? Like, and they got this whole kind of thing going on, and it's like.
So how do you feel about this? I know I'm old now because I come 100% believe in music manipulation. I used to be resistant to it. I ain't believe in it. But from personal experience, I tried to smoke as much weed as Lil Wayne and Wiz Khalifa, and now I'm pretty sure I'm on a competing realm with them. Right. And that was a goal. That was a true, honest goal of mine. Mm-hmm. Juicy J, I was dipping all of my blunts in fucking lean and drinking hella Bombay Sapphire because I wanted to embody all of what he was talking about on Blue Dream and Lean. I wanted to live all of that.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
So now when I reflect on myself, I'm like, you have been affected by music to use drugs in a very, very irresponsible way. A very irresponsible way. Mm-hmm. If that happens to you, that means it's happening to everybody. Fuck. Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it. This shit is actually, it carves you. It really manipulates you. And so when you just see all this violence that the kids doing, like I don't listen to Dirk that much. I used to, but when I learned that they still, like they be rapping like names of niggas who like they like bodied and shit in they songs and shit. There's just a level of I'm not gangster like that. There's just a level of heart that I have to where I'm like,
yo,
this is rough, man.
You know what's so crazy? These white kids get on there saying that shit too. Like, we smoke this motherfucker, or go what is it? They be posting go ride for go slide for Avon and shit like that. And I'm just like, that's not y'all. That's not your responsibility to tell that nigga that. It's crazy.
It's crazy,
but
bro.
They feel like they're so entitled to say that because they feel like they walk it, they talk it, and everything else. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that shit'll get to you. But that's why all those kids are on that shit now. Like, think of the hairstyles, just from the past 5 years. Where it's kind of
island boy.
You know what I mean? Like, it's been fucking like it's carved out. Everything's carved out. Look who's popping at the time, and then look at the culture. It'll line up every single time.
This tiny pants shit too. Like, I remember tiny pants because I was a big Lil B fan in high school, and I used to wear skinny jeans because I'm a fucking skater. But that's when skinny jeans was not. Niggas wasn't rocking with skinny jeans like that. And
what was the Jay-Z bar?
Skinny jeans because my knot's too thick. yeah. Real quick. There has to be a discussion on how much shit that nigga just was capping on. It was just so wrong about. It's just like, nigga, you are one of the greatest wordsmiths of all time, but ain't nobody looking to Jay-Z for no goddamn style. Get the fuck out of here, man. What? We might have to play that song, that Drake and Jay-Z song off that. That song is actually super nasty when you think about it now, because we got Drake and Jay-Z telling us what is on and off. Niggas told us they was off Tim's. I don't think nobody ever was off Tim's ever.
Yeah, I ain't hearing all that shit.
I think that was on Blueprint 3. That was on Blueprint 3. So I also talk a lot of shit about Jay-Z. I do not fuck with Jay-Z in the slightest bit.
Why don't you fuck with Jay-Z? What is this whole thing going on with you not liking Jay-Z?
Because I know so many people who have actually been affected in Brooklyn by his direct actions. I know direct people who have told me, like, their actual family stories of how in the past 20 years, and he has a direct impact on this.
Is this like
this is the
poppin' Jay? Like, is this shit easy?
It's the whole time. It's the whole time. So Jay's plans with like Brooklyn and all that, those have been worked on since like the early 2000s for him. Mm-hmm. So from 2000 to 2020, 20,000 black families have been pushed out of Brooklyn. 30,000 white families have been moved into Brooklyn in that 20-year time period. Jay-Z was, and this is literally from the mouths of people who live there right now and have been affected by this. The Barclays contract made rent everywhere go up, damn near double. Jay-Z was also a part of a partnership group to go and try to buy brownstones from black people for way under market value, because you know how the housing market does black people values. So he contributed to literally selling his own home to white people, and this is on paper, for 1.1% ownership of the Nets that he sold 16 months later. So I like to align that with a lyric he said, "I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died." Fred Hampton was a communist. If you don't know what communism is, if you're listening, Russia is a communist nation. Communism and capitalism are bitter enemies. They do not fuck with each other in the slightest. So what I hate is when capitalist niggas who have gotten all they have off of literally being well, shit, would you rather a white motherfucker get it or me get it? Right? That mentality is the sickest level of slave mentality, because what happens is you sprinkle what you see fit, but you still don't benefit as much as you have fucking taken away. Yeah. So if you've gotten all of your fucking riches from selling crack to black people and completely ripping apart your own communities, sure, you can do they ain't got to buy it, but you're also manipulating your own people from what the actual U.S. government gave you to dismantle your own community. So now you're actually an agent of the fucking government, using it under the guise of, I'm getting this money. And then you have the gall to say, I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died, real niggas just multiply. Insinuating that you're reincarnated as Fred Hampton, when in reality, if Fred Hampton was alive today, he would literally try to physically beat that man's ass for being such a gnarly, fucked up capitalist. Does anybody think Fred Hampton would rock out with Jay-Z signing an NFL contract? To getting just Dr. Dre performing and Snoop Dogg for the culture? Why is we still trying to get on these white people shits?
Yeah.
It's just like everything that he does to me on the back end as far as capitalism. I'm only speaking on capitalism only.
Yeah,
does not match up to how great of a wordsmith he is to me. That's all. I'm never going to hate on Jay-Z for being arguably the best rapper of all time. That's just... I truly believe if you don't think Jay-Z is one of the best rappers ever, I don't think you've listened to enough hip-hop or rap. But I'm just critiquing purely on a social aspect of just, he is the machine.
Right.
And I am trying to take the machine down. I don't care if you a nigga or not.
That's understandable, and sometimes you gotta look a little bit deeper than just the surface, bro. So
That's
understandable.
And I do, and like that's why it's so nuanced, because I do understand he does fucking, how many black families has he helped with cases, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like behind the scenes. I know 100% for a fact that he has, but it's also just like the true, it's like I forgot what it is, but when you die in Egyptian culture, and you're sent to the afterlife, you're on like the boat, and then you have the sand, the balance, and they take your heart out and they put it
with the feather, and if it weighs more than
you took Jay-Z's heart out, he's going to the underworld.
Yeah, that's somewhere you don't want to be.
He's going to the underworld, but like that's why it's all nuance, because did he sell out hella black people? Absolutely. Does he still help black people out? Absolutely. It's fucking nasty, and that's why I personally I want to tear the veil down. I just want people to honestly say, oh nah, Jay-Z a fucked up capitalist nigga. I'ma still blast that fucking music because that shit fucking bumps. That's all I personally want. I just don't want people being like just ignorant to who people are. It's okay to like shitty people. I'm a huge Kodak Black fan. That nigga is creepy. That nigga is very, very weirdo creepy. Kodak Black is one of my favorite fucking rappers. I don't give a fuck. He has this spirit that he has when he raps that like I can't even explain it. It's like
some people
like he has the spirits through him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think he's a pretty terrible human being. I'm still gonna rock out to that nigga songs. That's the level that I just want us all to be in. It's okay to rock out with shitty people.
You want people to own up to that type shit.
Yes. It like everybody ain't decent, everybody ain't good, everybody ain't bad. It's okay to rock out with who you rock out with as long as you just own the shit. Right. That's all.
Yeah. I feel like you gotta like really, people gotta be accepting of the shit like that. That type of shit happens.
Like Kendrick. I used to be a big Kendrick fan. Him doing that whole Crown of Thorns shit, man, that shit done turned me off, man. That shit really fucked me up. Like, I'm over here calling J. Cole all these types of cornies and all this shit, but J. Cole out here putting his whole team on his back. Dreamville doing magical motherfucking things.
Yeah.
Real magical things. So now I gotta motherfucking walk back some of my words and be like, well, I just don't fuck with J. Cole music, but in real life, he's like a really probably ultra solid human being other than the weirdo interactions he had online. But right. Now, nigga, Kendrick, you wearing a motherfucking $200,000 Tiffany Blood Diamond Crown of Thorns. What the fuck is going on out here, man? Yeah. Now I gotta bite my shit.
Yeah, it's it's fucking wild shit, bro. It's wild shit. So what you got coming up, man? Anything like
Yes.
What you got? What
all right. So we just had Junk Fest yesterday. Shout out to Jasmine. It was just a really cool like little hippie festival at her property. Like it was just fire. Yeah. I'm still kind of unpacking it because it was just like it's one of the coolest festivals I actually been to ever. It was just like she had Siri perform, Tiger perform, this homie named Joe Mascherette. Joe Mascherette is actually a fire folk artist. If anybody fucks with folk, Joe Mascherette, this motherfucker goes crazy. Reason I fuck with dude, because he a real traveler. He makes outlaw country. I don't fuck with country music if it's pop, But outlaw country is super hard because all they talk about is shooting at the police and running away from the police and doing a whole bunch of trap shit just to some fucking guitars. It's actually real cool.
Hell yeah.
And I'll rock out with that shit. So had a whole eclectic fucking bunch. It was really live. But the thing we have coming up is September 24th. I'm going to be up in Queens, New York at the Citadel. I'll be doing the drinks for the Organic Cannabis Cup. It is sponsored by Gage Green Group, and actually this is our first one where we got hella different, like legit sponsors.
Yeah.
The other ones we threw, we didn't have any. Now we got like, I think like 20, 30K in sponsors. And so basically I'm a judge for it and making the drinks. I'm actually really excited because the first time I did this was 2 years ago, and now I'm so much better of a flavor maker. I don't like calling myself a bartender no more because I'm only a bartender when I'm working at a place that's a bar. Other than that, I am a flavor maker.
Got you.
Because that's what I do. I literally create flavors. Shout out to my business partner, Val, because she's actually the master. Okay. I learned so much from her. She is probably the greatest bartender in America and definitely contending for bartenders in the world. So we're making that menu actually right now. If you trying to tap in, come through. I want to see if I'm like with this group in particular, I have so much like leeway and it's kind of like frightening, but like he gives me like the green light to do shit. And like he already fucks with seafood, like all shit. So I was like, I sent him other GK fam shit and he was like, oh yeah, man. Like if any of them want to come through and make like a guest appearance or like if we can throw them up on the fly or anything, just let me know. So I want to tell you that too, because we'll back with that. Cause like, I truly like I don't like doing shit alone. Like I grew up, like I'm an only child and like single mom. So like, I do like being alone. Like just cause that's like my base. Like I like my alone time, but I don't like doing things alone. It's not like, there's no fulfilling element of it. Like I want to do ratchet shit with my friends and make money and just have good times. Doing that alone is just like, it's so lame. Yeah. Like, what is this for? Like, I also don't like people that much for real. So like, I don't like to be involved in like other people's groups. I like bringing my group and then, putting my group on y'all. Yeah. I don't know. I get all it's that. Just it's too much weird shit. I hey, nah, we finna go. I'm saying they open the door, so hurry up, get in. So that's September 24th, and then the Michigan one. It's a 3-day joint. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be November 11th through the 13th, and that's gonna be in Detroit. Yeah, those are the only two things I got coming up on that, and then just the podcast coming up every other Thursday.
Yeah, shout out the podcast too. It's the Wonderful World of Yazi.
Yes, sir. Wonderful World of Yazi. Thank you.
Yep. I'll make sure I'll link it in the description too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I feel like a lot of people should watch it, especially from here, man. It's a dope podcast.
Thank you, man.
I fuck with it.
Wonderful World of Yazi. I just like to just give people truly just a look into how I am as a person, because I truly do hate the internet because I can't express myself exactly how I want to express myself. And I can sound so fucking like rude, or I can sound so like right. But like I'm really talking like, man, this nigga fooling, this some old bullshit. But since you can't hear me say it like that, you read it, you like,
kind of come off.
Is this nigga angry? I'm like, no, I'm just talking. I promise, I'm just talking. So being able to do a podcast and see that people like get into your actual mind is important to me. Just because I want to emulate like examples, just literally by being open and vulnerable every step of the way. Yeah. Just literally like, all right, it's basically an open note test the whole time. Like, hey, I love fucking up in front of people because I'm like, damn, I really thought that was going to rock out. And I didn't. So now what that gets to do is now I don't have to be embarrassed as well because I ain't got nothing to hide. There ain't shit to hide. But now, but then you get to see the reception. You get to be like, damn, every single human being experiences this exact thing. And we not alone in it. So it's also cool to be able to be like an outlet for people just to not be alone.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
that is really like the whole thing. Just like you is crazy and you not alone.
Yeah.
They can be this. That can be at the same time. You crazy. You ain't alone though.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, it was good having you on today, bro.
Yeah,
man. I appreciate you, pulling up
Seriously,
and
man.
doing this podcast with us. Hopefully,
Absolutely,
we can have
brother.
you on again soon.
I'd be honored, man.
Once we get a different setup, we're gonna have a few more folks. So
Yeah.
throw you in the rotation. I gotta make sure I got some swag for you too, man. Some merch for you.
Thank you.
I forgot to give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you.
Real
when we hit out
talk.
this motherfucker,
Tap
man.
in with this motherfucker for real. Like, this dude is so fucking cool. Like, I love people who are well versed and like nerds in various realms and realms that like shouldn't match up. So this nigga know hella about my Cincinnati Bengals and Star Wars. That is called diversity, and that's what the fuck we looking for. So y'all niggas better tap in. And this nigga got bars. Oh man, this nigga is a renaissance man. Fuck out of here, boy.
It's different. It really shocked people too. They were like, damn, like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. You hard, bro. I fucks with you.
That's what I walk, I talk all that shit.
Yeah.
That's just what I be about. But
hell yeah.
Again, though, it's a pleasure having you on this
Thank
piece, man.
Thank
you know what I mean? And again, we gonna get you on soon, man. When we got the homies all on again too. Usually they'll be on and we have, homies calling in and chatting in and whatnot.
I want to chat with fucking Token because that's, bro, I only chatted with him one time in person at Somerset. And it was me, him, and Swooty. And, bro, them niggas is crazy together.
Man.
Like, crazy. I'm, like, looking at them like, so do y'all love or hate each other? I'm confused. Y'all love each other. Okay, y'all love each other. Okay.
Yeah, that's just them niggas being them niggas.
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Literally, them niggas being them niggas, man. But yeah, we about to get out of here, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good Sunday, man, and we'll see you here next week.
Who they?
Man, oh yeah, who they? And we out this bitch, man.
Hey, man.